What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, hit that button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to brighten up the place. We're going to have a beautifully honest reaction. And listen, guys, the news just keeps on dropping when it comes to Ernest and his dirty deeds and Shirley Strawberry. And listen, Chroniclespeaks dropped a bombshell. There was an inkling of this could be possible from one of her other videos where she shared someone contacted her to say that she was actually married to Ernest. But of course, and understood, unless she had some proof, she was not going to go by that. But now it has been pretty much confirmed that Ernest indeed was still married when he married Shirley. We're going to have a beautifully honest reaction to this because this is just really, really deep.
Now, Miss Shirley Strawberry, I know I've probably been the bearer of bad news these past few months, and I'm sure you hearing the jail calls probably didn't help either. So we bloggers haven't really been your friend lately, and I understand that. But today I might be able to change your mind because I have documents to prove that your husband and Martha got a divorce on December 29, 2021. Your marriage to Ernest happened on January 9, 2015. And I don't know if y'all's math is different from mine, but something is telling me that this 2021 divorce makes her 2015 marriage null and void.
Did you hear that? This nigga had the nerve. Like, this is absolutely insane. Like, these are things that we hear about on television shows, on movies, about someone being a bigamist, marrying someone when they were still married, and then try to use the excuse of, oh, well, I thought the divorce was final. Oh, my God.
Now, after all of these charges that your husband has, they might add bigamy. You're free, sis. You don't even have to get a divorce attorney. You can run free. It's over. This man set you up knowing he was still married. We are going to get into this and so much more. But before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on anything regarding this case and so much more. Now let's get back into it. Now, I don't know if this news is hurtful or helpful at this time. On one hand, you have this marriage that has been a sham. And then on the other hand, Shirley, you can get out of it. No drawn out divorce. You can literally get out of it.
And that's very true, because if he was already still married to someone else legally, that's huge grounds for her to say, well, I don't even need a divorce lawyer. The marriage was just not even real. But the sad part about it is, even though the marriage may not have been legal and real, the things that she has gone through 100% are. And what she has lost is not going to be restored to her just because the marriage wasn't legal.
Let's break this down. Now, I received an email last week or so from Ernest's first baby mother telling me that she was married to Ernest, and I could not find any documents to prove it, nor would she provide me with those documents. So I had a few people contact me after and ask me, is it Martha? I'm like, no, it's not her. It's a different lady. So I received documents in 2001. Now, things had to go bad because on January 10th, 2005, Martha filed for separation from Ernest. Now, she asked that he pay $650 in child support for the child that they had. She asked that he be responsible for the mortgage that they had together. And she also wanted him to be responsible for his own liens and his own judgments and all collection agencies. So that just goes to show you that Ernest has been bad with money since Bush #2 was in office.
She is crazy. But yeah, that's actually the truth. It's not even a joke. And the fact that at the age that she was at, that she got married to this hustler, and there were the red flags and the signs and the warning bells and whistles that people were ringing and blowing in her direction to let her know that this man is a fraud. You like to talk about the Lord? Well, you need to watch as well as pray, and you need to back away and tell Satan to get thee behind me, because this man never meant her any good. This is just absolutely sad. The situation is sad, but I honestly can't really feel sorry for her, because she went into this in a way blindly, but also knowingly, because she chose to cover her eyes and ears and to proceed without caution when the caution tape was being wrapped around this crime scene of a situation that she wanted to call a relationship and then turn it into a marriage, when all it was a big front and a show, a big party with her wearing a wedding dress and having a wedding cake and having guests over and all of that stuff, and having her her big face boss walk her down the aisle and give her away. This is just crazy.
Long time ago. Now, because Martha did not pursue the case was later dismissed. What does that mean? They're still married. So on July 31st, 2007, Ernest decided to file a dissolution of marriage. He did this from jail. Now, he states the date of separation is April of 2005. He agrees to pay child support, and he agrees that the child should stay with the respondent, which would be Martha. There was a hearing set for July 9th, 2008. I don't know what happened in that hearing, but whatever happened, these two are still married. No one pursues this divorce later. He doesn't, she doesn't. On June 30th, 2014, the court is like, look, it's been more than 5 years. As a matter of fact, almost 7 years since Ernest has filed, and you guys are not doing anything. There's no movement, so we're going to dismiss this. This was June 30th, 2014. It's dismissed. What does that mean? They're still married. 28 days later, on July 28, 2014, on Shirley Strawberry's birthday, Ernest carries his tail up into the Steve Harvey Morning Show and in front of the world asks Shirley Strawberry to marry him. And she says yes. So since we're doing birthdays, on Ernest's 50th birthday, January 9, 2015, the two were married in a lavish Atlanta wedding.
Crazy. So they got married on his birthday. He was getting a huge gift, the gift of grifting the assets and everything else that was attached to this woman, the access and the assets, by knowingly marrying a woman when he knew that he was not divorced. He knew he wasn't divorced. He knew he wasn't with the chick anymore, but just walking away and not having a relationship with this person anymore does not absolve you of the marriage. This is so crazy. This honestly, to me, sounds like a Lifetime movie.
Where Steve walked Shirley down the aisle. Since then, Ernest has been arrested 3 times. Shirley has been kicked out of multiple homes, received a garnishment, filed for bankruptcy, and all of this because a man that you thought you were married to is still married to another woman. Now,
wow. She went through all of those things. Like I said, he got access and assets, and all she did was continuously move, but yet trying to live this facade because they were consistently getting evicted, but they were moving into bigger homes with more square footage every time. And in what world do you really do that?
Like, this is a part 2 to Why Do Fools Fall in Love, because Ernest has everyone claiming to be his wife. Court documents prove who the real Mrs. Williams was when Ernest got married to Shirley Strawberry. And it was Martha.
Now, this is crazy. So, Ernest is like Frankie Lyman, who's married to all of these chicks and just a loser. You know what I mean? He didn't mean anybody any good. And I'm curious to know the woman that he was still married to, that he didn't get officially divorced from. And that's because she continued to persist it, not because he tried to push it and make it happen. Did he do anything to those children that he shared with that wife? Question. It's a question.
Now let's get into Martha's new documents. On September 23rd, 2021, 20 years and 22 days after getting married to Ernest, Martha filed a complaint for divorce without minor children. Now, again, this child is grown. She realleges that the two were married on September 1st, 2001, and now she states that the date of separation is July 1st, 2005. She initially said January in her previous documents. He said April. All we know is that things went really bad in 2005. There's no minor children. She doesn't want alimony. There's no division of property and no marital debt. She states that the marriage is irretrievably broken, but she honestly could have put down adultery because clearly the man is having sexual intercourse with his new wife and he's still married to you. She is requesting a total divorce. Now, let me reiterate. This is September 23rd, 2021, 2 years ago. Now, she has to serve Ernest with these documents, and according to Martha, she can't locate him. Now, when this happens, you have to serve that person by publication. So typically they run the publication in the newspaper 4 times. Now, they're saying that they're going to run this October 22nd, October 29th, November 5th, and November 12th. Now, you have to sign an affidavit of diligent search, meaning they're not just going to put the publication out there because you said you couldn't find this person. You actually have to show how you tried to locate this person. Now, she reached out to a friend on August 25th, and that friend says that she hasn't seen him and doesn't know his whereabouts. On August 25th, she contacted his cousin. She doesn't know where he is. She asked his sister. She doesn't know where he is. She asked another friend. He doesn't know where he is.
And I don't believe any of those people. The cousin, maybe, but none of them knew where he was. And hey, I don't think that the courts were asking her to prove. She just had to place on this document, I guess under penalty of perjury, I'm assuming, that she indeed did contact these relatives of his and they all said, we don't know where he is. That's all she really had to do. But I just believe, my personal opinion, not that it matters, not saying that what he did wasn't wrong, because obviously and absolutely what he did was wrong, but she probably just, this was like her last resort to say, I just want out of this. I want to be disconnected from this fool in marriage, legally. So I believe she just put that to say, yeah, contacted the sister, contacted a friend, contacted a cousin. None of these people knew where he was, and I definitely don't know where he is, so I don't really know what to do. But again, she was the one that was pursuing to get this dissolution of marriage to happen. He was happy to be faking the funk, faking the marriage, and benefiting off of it with his access and her assets to build his criminal empire. And she was never really his wife. So, yeah, he was cheating on the first wife with Shirley and the girlfriend and who knows who else, right? This is absolutely insane. I'm going to put a link to the full video in the description box if you want to go and listen to the entirety of it, if you have not already done so. But listen, guys, she may not have been legally married to Ernest. That's all well and good. But I don't believe that it absolves her of any connections that she has had with him, I should say, during all of this stuff that has gone on, especially knowing that he allegedly did things to her daughter and grandchildren. Period. Now, I don't know how they can legally connect her to these things, especially now that they're not married. Or, hey, maybe it gives them even more leverage because technically she's not his wife. Because if you recall from one of the jail calls, she stated how the police were trying to get her to come down and give statements and speak. And she said, I don't want to do that. They can't make me do it. I'm your wife, so they can't make me testify against you. So she was ready to stand 10 toes down, heel down in the sand, all of that good stuff to stand by her man. So just because he is not legally her husband, she was still complicit in all of this stuff. She wasn't naive, I don't believe. And there are some people who feel as if she might be missing a few screws up top, not trying to be nasty or rude, but there are some people that do feel that she's a bit slow. That could be the case, but she definitely sounds nonchalant and just not really taking a whole lot of things seriously. But listen, with this news dropping, I don't know where this leaves things, but trust and believe we will continue to talk about it here and give our reactions to what is taking place and what has been revealed. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. This is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Thank you guys for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.